Please don't text me when you're drunk. Ooh, or don't text me at all.
Space Jam DVD, 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 Space Jam DVD,
Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam
DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD.
What up, everybody?
DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space
Let
Jam DVD.
us hang out. All right. I know how to use a computer. I know how to use a computer, guys. Don't doubt me. I know how to use it. There you are. Forgot where you were for a second there. We turn on ye old headphones. How's everybody doing today? It's a great fucking Wednesday. power of Space Jam DVD coursing through my veins right now. Oh, feels so good. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Now we're up here. So, how's your Wednesday going? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Extra mouse. I don't need this. I'd be like, Kip, everything looks a little weird because I zoomed in so you could see my face. The face that I hide like 90% of the time, because why not? It is Wednesday, May 11th. Whew, over the head. Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. I forgot to say the year of our Lord. Man, who am I today? Do I even know who I am? Look, I gotta be honest with you. I've been dying to play more of this Stanley Parable, so I'm really excited to get back into that today. I also managed to grab a copy of Inscription and Loop Hero, so maybe I'll do some with those later. I might be live tomorrow with some Risk of Rain, which will also be legit. Kat will be joining me for that, I guess. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And then, excuse me, Friday we got one of two things going on. We're either starting a Terraria server for everybody in the special guest queue, or we are alternatively playing Among Us. We're looking for a certain number count to meet Among Us. Not sure if we're gonna hit it or not. If not, no big deal. We'll play some Terraria and have a good time. And we'll be starting a server for that. So I'm kind of excited for that. We got a list of games that we're gonna do servers for: Valheim, Terraria, Minecraft, Core Keepers, Starbound. So that's all gonna be a kick-ass time. Once again, I'm Uncle Kip Smithers, the host with the most. Glad you stopped by today. And I'm assuming if you're here, it's because you also don't know what a parable is, but are dreadfully curious. So hopefully in playing more of this game, we'll learn what a parable is. Please don't type in chat and tell me what a parable is if you know what a parable, that ruins it. Gotta get the game full screen here. Yo, why does it not have any saved data for this? That's odd. That's very odd. You can see my pointer this time though, so that's cool. Sniff. Yo, what if it didn't save what I did last time? That would suck.
DVD, Space Jam.
Oops. Sure, you can say something. Both the time you booted up the game. Oh my god, this is so meta. I did take the time to set the clock. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. You earned it. What? God, this game. This fucking game. I love it. So, can we go full screen? Why are you not full screen right now? You should be full screen. Bye. There we go. That's so weird. I don't know what happened there. But that's alright. We're at full screen. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I am Uncle Kip Smithers, and we're about to play some Stanley Parable. Let's fucking go. Let's see what this narrator's...
This is the story.
Yeah, we already did this. Right back to being Stanley. Welcome back. What do people... I just got a Steve achievement if you didn't see.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Do people normally
What
not
could
come
it
back?
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Click. Okay. Tell you what, guys. In a strange turn of events, we're going to do everything he says today. Let's just see what this guy's got going. Chicka, chicka, yeah, yeah. Okay. Huh. Let me see here. Give me a second. All right.
Yet
Back.
there was not a single person here either.
So we've made it
Feeling
this
a
far
wave
before.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yo, I feel like last time we did this, something went wrong. Didn't I try to talk into the microphone and it didn't work? The office is different this time. Oh, I can see into this one. Gotta excuse me, I am with that summertime
Stepping into his
sickness
manager's
right now.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Oh my god.
2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. Okay. But
Yet
Stanley did
incredibly,
know
by
this.
simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
shit.
input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh god, I'm stuck. Oh god, I'm stuck. It's a chair. I can't see the chair in the dark. Does Stanley have a flashlight? 'Cause my guy, it is dark down here. Stanley can't see. You gotta cut me.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Or so they said. Ah!
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hold it. No, I mean, we're going. I said I was doing it this time. We're doing it this time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did
This guy
this
talks like
place
Christopher Walken
hold?
sometimes.
Stanley
Television
thought to himself.
screens.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Hey, remember that first ending I got? I was like at the tippy toppy up there. Employee observance protocol. I can't read it. Case of a class 4 event, closed system gates. Somebody zoom in on that. I'm sure at this point in this game's life, somebody has read these memos everywhere. We shouldn't attempt to what?
Now the monitors
never
jumped
know.
to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom
That one's
meant
broken.
nothing.
I'm like 427 or something. Somewhere over here. It'd be cool if, like, you know, technically shouldn't I see my self wandering around? If I looked at the right screen, like, isn't that how that works?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Somebody got fired.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He
Stanley,
couldn't
you're a corporate.
accept it.
I'm
His
Stanley.
own life
I'm a corporate
in someone
puppet.
else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
That's not a pretty thing to look at.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
It's all
For
off.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Everything's already broken here. Stanley, you did it. You did it, Stanley. It's all offline. There's nothing for us to do. Activate power cells. Oh. That one's on. Everything is really dark in here. Like, dang. I'm using my best judgment to find the stairs right now. Oh, they're locked. Okay. I've been tricked. That does look like a big red button. Like, this exudes big red button energy. A 5. Okay.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this
not already
horrible
off, though.
place and to everything it stood for.
So, off. I feel like I broke something. Or I win. This is the ultimate win.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Yes,
He had
there's a
defeated the
light.
machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
And then...
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
This is
For
insane.
it was not knowledge
I never
or
would have
even
thought this
power
game had,
that
like, a
he had
definitive
been
ending.
seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way,
This is beautiful.
right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
See, so the narrator isn't a sadistic dickhead. He wants nice things for us after all. All we gotta do is listen. Mind control. That's a form of abuse.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So check it. This time, we're gonna escape.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, let's turn it on. Actually, let's go turn the mind control device
Yet
on.
there was not a single
Let's make
person
Stanley
here
an evil
either.
fuck.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Squeeze me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
He did walk upstairs to his boss's office. It was a code again. Why is it all
Stepping
codes
into his
now this
manager's
time?
office,
And that one time
Stanley
it was like
once
say
again
something in there.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh my god, waiting for Michael Bolton to lay down something on this track right here. Definitely exudes Michael Bolton energy.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I was like, I forget where this goes. All right. So this time, we're going to turn on the mind control device. And be evil shitbags.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
And turned on this light
The
bulb.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Television
What horrible
screen.
secret
You know
did
what
this
would make
place
this game
hold?
better?
Stanley
A Matt
thought to
Berry
himself.
narration.
Did he have the strength to find out?
If you don't know who Matt Berry is, he's Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows. He's Stephen Toast from Toast of London.
Now the monitors
all that's
jumped
coming to
life,
mind right now,
their
but he's in
true
other
nature
stuff.
Revealed. Each bore the number
Rabbit,
of an
Year of the Rabbit.
employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
5828. Employee 5828's got something shady going on their screen. I saw it. Forgot which one's Stanley again.
This mind control facility.
That's where he's like
it was too
420 some.
horrible to believe. It couldn't be
But again,
true.
you would think that
Had
what's ever on
Stanley
those
really been
screens
under
would be what
someone's
I'm
control
seeing
all
right
this
now.
time? Was
And
this
that's
the only
not the
reason
case
he
on
was
any of
happy
them. I
with
don't
his
see any of them
boring
moving when I
job?
look
That his
around.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It
Bad
was
news, Stanley.
unthinkable. Wasn't it?
It is reality.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Can confirm.
But here was the proof. The heart
Alright,
of the
so we're
operation.
turning on the thing this
Controls
time.
labeled with
Wait,
emotions.
there's a 5 right
happy
there.
Or
And there's a
sad,
number right
or
there.
content. Walking, eating,
Maybe I gotta
working,
hit the on
all
button
of
and
it
then I go
monitored
around and
and
hit 'em all.
commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
2,
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
3. It's definitely 4. And there's no other way up there. Guess we'll hit 1, 2, 3, 5 and see what happens. Nothing. Alright, we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna be evil pieces of shit.
And when at last he found the source of... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I totally
After
did.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you
Damn
wanted?
right.
Control?
That room creeped me out. I had to walk out.
I applaud your
I was
effort,
getting
really
anxiety.
do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh, shit.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then?
We fucked
Let's
up.
say, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it,
Okay.
Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a
Executing
shame we
hint.
have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But
Okay.
what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you,
2.
about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Oh, God.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Oh, my
I
God.
erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then
See,
dying
he is a
alone.
narrating evil piece of shit.
Other
I
times,
knew it.
I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let
4.
it burn to a
Gotta go to
crisp.
5. Must go to
I have
5.
say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back
Yeah.
the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to
now you gotta
see
find
it
the red
go.
button.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
There was a red button. I
My
saw it
goodness,
before.
only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it.
Enable
I'm going
backup
to
power
put some
to
extra
activate.
time on the clock. Why not?
Okay.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh,
Activate
dear me,
button.
what's the
Hit
matter, Stanley?
green.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
I did.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones.
You're
or
a
maybe
sick
this big
fuck.
red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved?
No.
Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
You sick fucker.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
I hate you.
You're only still playing instead of
God.
watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Goodbye, employee 427. Hey, look,
Take a
I knew
at
my
the
employee
clock,
number.
Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another
I hate you,
choice.
narrator guy.
Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
I fucking died. Are you serious? He's an evil son of a bitch.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I knew he was evil. There were
Stanley
ways out of
decided
that
to
room.
go to the
I
meeting
couldn't do
room.
it.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Should we use the door?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. Seems kind of creepy. Yep, I would never be caught standing on this. I wouldn't be able to. And I'd get freaked out. Yep. No, not going through anything that looks like this.
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
It's like a Disney
on
ride
home
now.
computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
This is great.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I'm not. Sounds sketchy. I feel like I had a lot of time left with the other
Okay,
version.
so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh,
This is
there we
exciting.
go.
Look
All
at
right,
that wall.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Wall climbing
I
action.
have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
This man is thirsty. The jump
right.
circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
I can jump now. Is this real? Every time I think, every time I say out loud, is this real? Like, I have to remind myself, like, no, because this game is just like a big troll, and I fucking love it. This jump action. Woo! Let's go, chat! Let's get that jump action going. Yeah! 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 Here we go. On God. Oh, that was it.
Is
This
Is
is
that it?
content.
surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Oh man, that's it.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say,
hope we get
initial
39
impressions
jumps
of this
this next
game
time.
are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Fuck you, narrator.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base
That was the
rush a
$5
cheap
price tag
expansion to
difference.
market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department
Gonna
signed
check
off
that
on
out
this?
later.
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
It's a great
I
idea.
built up too much anticipation around the new
how
content,
things work
I'm
now.
afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Is this really
No
the
frills,
new content?
no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Really? Psych. We're in. Oh, we're not in a new office. Still my office. Okay. So I'm in a new office now.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Well, that doesn't seem creepy or anything. Alright, right back to not listening.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Okay, when you say it that way, you make me sound ungrateful.
Never mind. You're not a dork.
I'm not a dork, narrator. Narrator dick. Coffee nut. It's a far drop. Can't have Stanley dying on my watch.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Wonder how you're gonna troll me this time.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was
Don't
before it
forget
was
it.
sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's like all legit memorabilia by the narrator. First kiss, my first car. Makes me think of member berries. What does it say? The Memory Zone temp. So it's literally a Modzilla Firefox page. Okay, so check out the single picture of Stanley up there. Direct middle right now. It's another one. British Academy of Film and Television Awards last Yo, I'll say something brave yet controversial. I'm more entertained by this name than I am The Last of Us. Dollar bill. Don't play for 5 years. It's legit like a celebration of the game, and I think this is wholesome AF. I mean, fuck this narrator though. Little Stanley, oh my god. Is he a guinea pig? Oh my god. Let's face it, I was gonna try and run around that right there and just launch off.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them.
Stephanie
and now,
James Sterling worked for Destructoid at
it's
any
no
point.
games
That's
at all.
news to me until right now.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Let's go. We're not going in there. Okay. Whoa. It's literally a map of a city. Person, is that Stanley? Yeah, because there's a Stanley. There's a woman. Who's the woman? Literally never seen anybody else. Also never knew that there was like special editions of this game or anything. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything.
Here's another moving passage,
Gosh.
this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny!
I'm so sorry, I thought I
Trying to be
muted.
funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
There's more bad ones on the ground. Excuse me. I like that they're all like cutouts. I want to get somebody to make a Steam review of my stream, and I want to hang it up behind me.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
To be fair, you are an evil narrator. Like, you did admit specifically to mind controlling people. That was like 10 minutes ago, man. Oh, I'm gonna fall into the water and die.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button?
I like the narrator.
Well, yes.
I mean, again, he
Yes, I think we
is
can
a
do that.
dickhead.
If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
Yeah, something's
Only
about to happen.
positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do
Okay, it's just a
anything
door.
for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I hate this guy.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about.
You
I know,
just
it's
stop
shocking,
rambling.
isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
There was.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't
Gotta go
think
behind
one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
Give it
Is
a
there
try.
any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door, as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door.
What?
I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please. Please do not press the skip button. Just wait here.
The
Wait here for me,
maniacal son of a
and don't
bitch
press the skip button.
wants to
Got
pat.
it?
I
Yes,
I
good.
want to push it.
I'll be right back.
Oh my god, is the clock really ticking? It's not an accurate clock, is it? How many times did they ask me to tell them what time it was and they don't even have an accurate clock? Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I want to push it. I want to push it. AGD must not take over. So, how's everybody doing? It's good. You, anybody seen Doctor Strange 2? It's cool. I'm really hungry for spaghetti. Oh god, you guys must stop urge. Must stop urge to hit button. Oh god.
Stanley, please don't push the
been
button
12
again. It's been
hours.
12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the
Still?
door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's
How do you
no
not have a door, bro?
There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control
That's
anything
the
in
best
this room,
one I've ever
Stanley.
had.
I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what
wanna
I can do
push
to
the
convince
button.
you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews.
It is. Do you
Those
realize what
reviews
you've
that I couldn't
done?
get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie
literally
Nine's
your
opinion
fault,
matter so much
narrator
to me?
man.
I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury.
I'm gonna click it
to
again.
alter and to change and to break anything
I got to.
unbroken.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
The tree's dying.
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
No. Good night. Goodbye, narrator. What if he gets old and dies?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunity.
We're giving this dude
I felt
full-blown
nothing at
depression, and I feel so bad. He's not here. What have I done? I feel like I've killed him. Have we finally defeated his evil? god. Are we just in here forever?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have
Oh my
a
God,
point.
he's alive.
It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands.
He's
but
had
then,
all
he's
this time
talking
to
too
get
much.
pissed
They
about
said,
bad
first,
reviews.
he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency. It's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness
Look,
to
I'm
examine
alive
with
again.
an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of coherence.
Oh, get out of here, narrator. Sometimes these loops feel like, oh my god, you guys. It still works.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
I like it better when he's gone. How long have I been here? Oh shit! I don't understand where the air's coming from. I can't see out of anything. Oh! I can't get up there though. Still no door. Maybe a door now? Oh, no. This game literally, like, when I play this, it invokes Portal. Can I jump? No. We're gonna eventually be able to jump up there, I bet. That pipe hang a little bit lower. That's what she said. I feel like I'm going in like bad time machine. Yeah, get out. And it's literally a desert now. Let's hit it one more time. Let's assume that walking out into a desert unprepared will kill you. Oh shit, can I not push it anymore? Oh shit. And walk out into the desert we will. That feels like an end. Yeah, okay, that's an end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This crazy narrator guy. New content. I'll go in one of these ways first.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
I've
stop
listened
by
pretty
the
well,
employee lounge
except for the
first,
whole
just
click
to
the
admire
skip
it.
button thing today. Like, I didn't want to listen to that.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring, but eager to
truly
get back
felt
to
like he
business,
could have just rambled
Stanley
and
took the
rambled and
first
rambled
open
and
door on
rambled.
his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
There was a noise
Good
and
job,
everything.
Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
There was a noise and everything.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others.
Now
So
he's
the
being
thought of
weird.
total solitude was terrifying to him.
It's a rude man
Stanley
this
came
time.
to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I've never been able to open the broom closet. There's a broom in here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
He's really upset
no
by
reason
that.
to still be here. Coming to a staircase,
we're going
Stanley
down.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Creepy.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was
I was
crazy.
like, is it about to repeat
And then
rooms, or
something
like,
occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
or
moment.
maybe Thanos
for no
came and
reason at
snapped his
all?
fingers.
None of it made any
fucked up
logical
Stanley's
sense.
world.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other
3,
strange
11,
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh god, I can't
Why
see my
did
feet.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
No, they're repeating,
And at
Stanley.
last, he came to the conclusion
12.
that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
He's
I'm
in hell.
dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief
suck on this
Stanley
tailpipe,
felt
Stanley.
to have
It'll all go
finally
away.
found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
I know,
He
he's
thought to
probably
himself,
still crazy.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Oh my God,
and
is he really
Stanley
dreaming-
marveled
dreaming?
that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Right?
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
I'm
he
a
thought.
dude disguised as a
And when he
dude
thought it
playing
all
another
very
dude.
odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Holy crap.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice
know
was a
if
part of
going
himself
forward is
too.
doing
Surely,
anything.
surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Bye.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Still walking around the
I'm
office.
through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want
That's
is
who
my
the female
life
character
exactly
model is.
the
It's his
way
wife.
it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Of course. I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Y'all, this was a dark one. There's a few really dark ones, but this definitely was a dark
This is
one.
the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What?
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Peace, Stanley. I didn't expect that outcome.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very
Coming this way,
exciting to show you.
Gonna make me take the whole ride again? Ah, he didn't. I've added more counters to your favorite jumping
You see,
game.
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Investor Showcase.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new
I
territory we'll
hate
cover
you.
with a fully fledged
I hate everything you stand
an
for.
entirely new experience, built from the
You
ground up.
ironic
Why there are so
genius.
many possibilities? It could go in so many different directions.
Time to wake
This
up.
is what fans have truly been asking for.
Taste the sequel to Twee de. Don't.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic
Just the
statement.
two of us, we
right
can make it.
there.
If we try,
It's
just the two of
future-oriented.
us.
It screams
my God.
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
I'm glad that I caught that. Raven. Sequel ideas. Stanley can throw axes. Stanley gets boons from something artistic, something wife scene. Intimate. Free room mode. Free roam. Dress up mode. Paper gameplay. Nude Stanley, New York City, jetpack, and fuel canisters. Mike, I can't read that other one. One more teaspoon, better tea, more. This is great. Paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach. Holistic value. These are perfect buzzwords for some of this. Concept art circle. Way too good. Literally just...
Now, to
I
be
open any
clear,
doors yet?
I
No.
haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Excuse me. New content. Why is a bus in here? Guess it's better just to not question things.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hear your name in the game. That button that says the name of the player playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
I thought it
Here,
said Kip.
Let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience
All right,
of
I'll be
this
Jim.
feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to
I am
imagine
Jim.
yourself living as
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button.
That's a really
Otherwise,
valid
it's just
point.
a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself
Jim does
through
crack.
fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
That feels
You feel
accurate.
it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim.
Jim.
That was great.
Yes, you see.
10 out of 10
What a
would recommend
thrill,
this
What
game.
a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
I hate you.
It hits even harder the second time.
It
If
hits
this were
even
the
harder.
only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still
We should
be
get
worth
Sauce
the
to
money.
narrate this game.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll
No.
start to lose all sense of who you actually
Jim.
are.
Jim. Jim. Jim.
Had to get it on the way down. Everyone's got one. Well, guess we should go try another new feature, obviously. Yeah, this game just oozes aperture science. Like, I would think it was in
I
the
suppose I
Half-Life
could
world.
allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Red is the new orange. Ray trace. More of the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the button that says your name, the jump circle, and the infinite hole. What's in here?
Okay, I'll be honest,
no,
I
no,
haven't yet
no.
decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Definitely happy 12th birthday, Stephanie's.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Aw. Really fucked up narrator guy.
Oh, actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Free easy achievement. Collectibles. You can find them. You can find them. You can find them.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward
Those
for
naked
collecting
bodies?
more of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go
All
up.
crawling
you simply
towards it.
collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your
This is the thing
unremarkable
that
life.
nightmares are made out of. I really hope that there are more. Oh shit, you can't even go back in now.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely
Alright,
tragic.
there's the exit, the jump circle. Okay. Settings, world champ. Okay, so let's go get the free achievement. Infinite hole. It won't end. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more steps. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's a Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken.
son of
I'm
a
not
bitch.
a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding
You
this
tricked me.
feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I've been cheated. He just said it just works. Liars. When does anything ever just work? Get yours right now.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Of course I did. Give me some more.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Bro, give me some more jumps. That's cold, narrator. It's real cold. How was I supposed to know there was gonna be another jump circle? If I would have known, I obviously would have saved my stuff. Alright, so we need to check out the bucket and the settings. Okay, okay. Interesting. Okay. End is never again. The t-shirt is the best new feature. Alright, and I did see this over here. You heard Jim in the game. Oh my god. Shout out to Jim. Epilogue. Huh. I wish Stanley's name was Michael. Michael Scott. can't even open that door. Alright, so I say we go to the bucket and then we go to the giant hole. God, this is better than Disney World, guys.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal.
Let me get that bucket, bro.
Even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
I just like being able
must
to hold
already
something.
be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
I'm gonna steal
can
this
I
bitch.
say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I obviously exude
The
confidence
benefits
with
of
this
the
bucket in
seem
my
to
hand.
go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I get to keep the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
No, but
That
they
really
should.
should be an award if it isn't already.
10 out of 10 recommend this bucket. 10 out of fucking 10. Whole like infinity.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
It's the whole falling game, guys. Of course. Let's just watch that get smaller and smaller.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I think I like.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer,
Falling in the
but
hole,
I
man.
do recommend you use the teleport button.
Yo,
to go
he'll
back to the
ramble
top.
on for a
do
shit
it
ton
on
of
the
time, but
sooner
I start to
rather than
enjoy
later
the falling
spectrum of
hole,
things.
and suddenly he's got a problem with the way I enjoy the hole. Ridiculous.
Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm
You're
a
a
liar
liar.
and a cheat, and you're so clever.
Every pause button
I
is
think the
new
issue
rule
here
too.
is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated.
You won't let
there.
me
I think
teleport
we both
now.
said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all
You won't
this
let me
behind us
teleport
and agree to just
now.
call the hole mostly infinite?
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I feel like I've seen all your ideas at this point. Unless I'm missing something. It just keeps going. Shut the fuck up. Oh, I feel like that's looking at me now. Oh, it is. It's definitely rotating. The exit. Okay. Seen everything. So I feel safe walking away.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Screenshots. Gonna fucking screenshot
So,
everything.
Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say,
Somewhere.
let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay.
Let me play.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about it.
Let me in.
Here we go. Version 2.
No.
Who am I kidding, Stanley?
Jumps remaining.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do
I
very
got
much
1 out of
enjoy
6
creating
collectibles.
gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted
Where's the
more
other
than
5?
anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and
Mocking video
integrity
game
of the
design
original
now.
game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
It's a legit title screen. No shit.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was
You guys, they changed the
employee
intro.
number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a
Or am I
keyboard.
crazy?
Orders came to him through a monitor on
think
his
I'm crazy.
desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley
Really?
all
Oh,
of his
look.
co-workers were gone.
There's
What
balloons
could it
now.
mean?
It's really
Stanley
adding in
decided
tiny
to go
things to the
meeting
game.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Where was the bucket? Oh my god, I gotta pick up the bucket of reassurance.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I feel reassured.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
So am I just
Coming
supposed to carry the
staircase,
bucket to the end now?
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh my god.
You found one of them.
It's
One
a
of the
collectible.
miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
Amen.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Oh, okay. Maybe you need the bucket to do, like, the mind control thing at the end? Or I'm just full of shit.
The elevator raced downward.
Tell you what, next time I turn the
towards
game
an
on, I'll turn it
unknown
into 2
fate.
p.m. and run into the meeting room.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Or do we escape?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Really?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I refuse to turn around.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Buckets can't die. Well, I knew it couldn't have been an infinite hole. Oh god. That machine's gonna crush
As
me.
the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what
God.
use is a sense of ease when you're about to be
God.
crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Amen.
Farewell, Stanley.
Now the bucket's gonna save us.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was
Does
crushed
the bucket have its own
violently to
narrator?
death.
Oh my god.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
We really celebrating this bucket? You were standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a carnivorous void. But through the use Is this
Can
literally
you
just
see
a hall
how
of buckets?
arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Bucket with 2 handles. Oh. Was that Petruvian man? So power of yellow with 1 control. Fire water. A stress bucket. The stress bucket, an analogy. This bucket museum is too much. Do less. Oh my god.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. I've claimed this bucket's
But
life
there
for
is
my own.
something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
Oh my god, it is the
we can
bucket's
save the
narrator.
world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only
Bucket,
we
don't
let
do this to
Stanley
me.
die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
I died that time. But did I come back to life? I did. The figurine finder committee. Collectibles. Too funny. Way too funny. Guys, this game seriously geeks me out. Like, legitimately geeks me out. Excuse my cold. I know it hasn't been fun to deal with. I've been trying to cough, like, not in the microphone, obviously, but I do the best I can. I'm gonna take a little break from the stream. Could probably come back a little later tonight, maybe. If not, I'll definitely be live like almost all day tomorrow. Guess I won't play any Stanley Parable. Doesn't seem like everybody's really loving this one, but maybe I'll make this like a personal me time game. Probably do more Deus Ex tomorrow, I think. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Get in the Discord. Get in the Twitter. We'll find out the things. And we'll like the things, we'll do them together, okay? Other than that, you guys know what time it is.
Please don't text me when you're drunk. Ooh, or don't text me at
Have a good one, guys.
all.
Space Jam DVD, 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 Space Jam DVD.